Hello everyone. So today we are continuing our lecture on gradually varied flow. So this is Ghanshyam Bhushan, Assistant Professor, Department of Civil Engineering, Engineering College, Jhalawad. So before going further, let us recap what we have studied in previous lecture. So we have studied the concept of specific energy which was given by Bagmatov, and we have seen the total energy in a real fluid flow always decreases in the downstream direction, but it may not be the case with the specific energy. Specific energy is constant for uniform flow, and it can either increase or it can decrease also in the direction of, in the case of varied flow, in the direction downstream direction. So the from like, if some particular datum is there, so if you are going to calculate the total energy, so it will come out as total energy capital H will be equal to datum head Z plus the pressure head y cos theta plus alpha v square upon 2g. So this is the velocity head. Alpha is the kinetic energy factor, but most of the cases cos theta will be 1 and alpha will be also be equal to 1. So if the datum is coincide with channel bed at the section, then the resulting expression will become specific energy. So then E will become y plus v square upon 2g. We are talking about this, sorry, particular equation, this. Okay, so after converting v is equal to q by a, so we will get E is equal to y plus q square upon 2g a square. And for the critical depth calculation, we have differentiated this equation with respect to, we have done dE by dy, and we finally got q square t upon ga cube. Okay, so let us move further and let us see what happens next. So the equation number 7, that was same equation, q square tc upon ga cube is equal to 1, is the basic equation governing the critical flow condition in a channel, because that equation was derived for the condition of minimum energy, and minimum energy is occurring at the critical depth, and at critical depth the y is yc, and the everything is will in the, we will be converting in the critical flow parameters. So it may be noted that the critical flow condition is governed solely by channel geometry. So you can see A, T and Q is basically constant, so it is governing by only the geometrical parameters and discharge obviously. So other channel properties such as the bed slope and roughness do not influence the critical flow condition for any given discharge. So discharge can vary from 10 to 100 to 1000 meter cube per second, but every time we will be getting the same sort of parameters, because the bed slope is not governing, so only geometrical parameters are governing the critical flow condition only. It is not true for other conditions. This is only valid for critical flow condition, that you have to remember. So if we are able to define the Froude number for, so this is the generalized Froude number. So in the first chapter, dimensional analysis, we have seen v f is equal to v upon under root g a by t. So a by t will be equal to y, so this will become f is equal to v upon under root g y. Okay, so let us see what is, this is question number 8. So it is easy to see that by equation 7, at the critical flow y will be yc and f is equal to fc, and fc is always equal to 1, because how we are going to define the critical flow, or it is whether it is critical flow or not, we are going to define with the help of Froude number. If Froude number is equal to 1, then the flow is at, it is a critical flow. If it is less than 1, then it will be subcritical flow, and if it is greater than 1, then it is super critical flow. So we thus get an important result that the critical flow correspond to minimum specific energy, because that's how we have reached this equation, and at this condition the Froude number will equal to 1. So in the previous derivation we have assumed E to be E was not constant, Q was constant. Let us now assume Q E as constant, and now we are assuming that Q is varying. So this is the basic equation, governing equation. Now we have just converted all the parameters, like dependent parameters, into right hand side. So Q will be A under root 2G E minus Y. So let us see what is happening if our Q is discharged, Q is changing. So for maximum condition, again we have to differentiate Q with respect to Y. So dQ upon dy, by getting simple differentiation, you will get this. So now rearranging the parameters, finally again we are going to get Q square T upon Ga cube. So this equation is representing the critical flow condition. So now we have seen from two different approaches. In one first approach, we have assumed energy to be different, like variable. Now again we have considered this discharge to be different, but in both conditions we are getting the same equation only, Q square T upon. That's why I was telling in the previous lecture that this is the one of the most important equation. It will help a lot while solving the problems. So like why we have done this? So like for both the conditions we get to know E is minimum and Q is maximum. If you are going to for second derivative, like in the case of energy, just put the value of Y in the second derivative and you will get the value to be positive. And in the case of Q, for second derivative, if we are putting the value of Y, we will get a negative value. So that correspond to maximum discharge and minimum energy. So now let us solve one small problem to just have a feeling of what actually we are talking about. So this is example, like a 2.5 meter wide rectangular channel has a specific energy of 1.5 meter when carrying a discharge of 6.48 meter cube per second. So calculate the alternate depths and corresponding Froude numbers. So alternate depth, as I have told, that for alternate depth the energy is going to be same. So Y is changing but energy is constant. From that graph we have seen. So always start with the basic equation. We are having Y plus Q square upon 2G A square. Why we are not using V square upon 2G A? Because V square upon 2G, because we have given the discharge. So directly we can use Y plus Q square upon 2G A square. So now E has given 1.5, Q is 6.8 and G is 9.81, 2 is there, 2.5 is the, so it was area. So area is B into Y. So B into Y, Y will be, so finally we are so yes, I think B is here, B will be there. Here Y square is missing. Okay, so same Y square is there. So only Y is unknown. So while like this will become a cubic equation, and after solving you will get Y is equal to 1.296 and Y is equal to 0.625. So for two different depths, this is going to be, this condition we can achieve. So let us check what is happening with the Froude number. So as we know, Froude number is V upon under root G into Y. So just put the values and you will get at Y1 is equal to 1.296, Froude number is 0.596. So this is less than 1, and for Y2 is equal to 0.625, we are getting Froude number 1.675. So it is greater than 1. So what is happening in between? We are crossing the Y is equal to 1 condition. So this is not the minimum case. Okay. So I think some feeling you might have got about this. Let us just, let me draw the, so what is happening actually? So this, sorry, let me, so it was the Y is equal to X line. So this was the E minimum, EC. So something, this is 1.5. So this is Y1 and this is Y2. So at EC Froude number was 1. So that's why one Froude number is coming to be greater than 1. corresponding to this, and other is less than 1 corresponding to this. So try to find some problems and try to solve it at yourself, then you will again get a very clear picture. So for problem solving you can refer to the open channel flow by K Subramanya, as I have told you. So this is all for today. In the next lecture we will solve some more problems, and we are going to derive the equations for critical depth for different channels like rectangular channels and triangular channels. So that's all for today. Thank you.